speakers and their rectorates also underlined that we have some challenges in education and research. In the end, major European university alliances occurred as strong tools of computing, but in the same time for complementing the higher education in a global context. So, today we will try to understand their structures, missions, their approaches to these grand challenges and polycrises and so on, and we are trying to learn from them and to understand their common and shared points as well as their unique approaches. First of all, let's revisit why we care about these alliances, because they aim to strengthen higher education institutions to respond collectively to global uncertainties. Global uncertainties is coming with these global challenges. We are in an era of polycrisis, so it is time to say new things, as Rumi said. It's time to say new things and talk about new topics. So from this point now, I would like to give my word to my esteemed colleagues and visitors. And now, please, can you briefly introduce us your alliances, beginning from dear Professor Acar, EELISA and Kunyan, and as a member, what is their mission? What's your mission? And what you're trying to do in this alliance, EELISA? And apart from that, what is their role in enabling us or helping us to respond to these grand global challenges in the era of polycrisis? Why do we need them? Konuşabilirsiniz. Evet.
Nihan Hocam, dear guests, thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here, be part of this discussion. I will try to contribute to this discussion with a couple of hats. One is, as you said, I'm ITU coordinator of the EELISA project. The other thing is we have a Center for Excellence in Education, so I'm the director of it. And another hat might be also relevant to this discussion. I'm the board member of CEFI, European Society for Engineering Education, but basically it includes many disciplines, not just engineering. So I'll try to merge these when answering your question. EELISA is part of a larger ecosystem of European universities. Currently there are, as far as I remember, 65 consortia, including 550 European universities across Europe. So it's kind of a huge experiment. I mean, these initiatives aim to design the future model of universities. EELISA is European Engineering, Learning, Innovation and Science Alliance, shortly EELISA. So basically it's about designing, building a new model of higher education, which is inclusive, which is challenge-based. We have concerns in terms of embedding, let's say, societal concerns into higher education curricula. And it's a very integrated model, so it's not just education part. We are trying to integrate all these dimensions in a meaningful way: research, education, innovation, and entrepreneurship, when designing this future model. Shortly, I can, later, I'm sure we will have a chance to explain how we manage this process. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, dear Judith. Yes.
Well, thank you for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here, to be part of this event and to share a little bit about the Alliance, QN Alliance. Actually, I'm not the main responsible in my university for this alliance, but I participate as collaborator from my post of director of the Center of Study in Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, and also as director of the PhD program in Data Science and Big Data. I have, because I'm not the main responsible, I should write every idea to do not forget anything, and then I have a presentation. I don't know if I can go there?
For the introduction
or
part, maybe you can share it as well.
Okay. Well, okay, then.
What the Q&A is, what are you doing over there about getting us prepared for the future?
Well, yes, the Q&A is an alliance that brings together a very diverse set of universities with many profiles, with different profiles, different profile in size and nature. For example, we have universities that are generalist, universities that are very specific, applied, and also we bring together two words that seems to be separated before, but now it's the physical world and the digital world in terms of the model of the academic, learning. The teaching. I mean, the QN have universities with a physical campus and universities that are totally online. And then the strategies, the teaching strategies seems to be very different, but for sure we are finding some points to improve both kind of learning, teaching and learning strategies.
Thank you so much. It's very interesting that we discussed with Professor Daim and Professor Yılmaz and other colleagues about how to find the balance between the online and physical education. So I think we will hear some exciting experiences. Yes, Professor Aksoyak.
Thank you very much. I am one of the coordinators of QN studies in AGÜ. And QN is a European University Alliance, first established by 9 universities in 2020. The initial idea was in 2020. Our aim as a group, as an alliance, our aim is to be a part of the, one of the major part of the European knowledge ecosystem that Professor Acar mentioned. Because the understanding of the university definition is changing, and European Union and European Parliament are acting through this idea, new approach actually. And I see the European Alliance's idea as a sustainability feature of Erasmus program actually. And now we are trying to establish our micro Erasmus systems, and it is because we need to collaborate with universities all around Europe. As the alliances, QN sees the universities not only the knowledge producers, but also living laboratories for societal solutions. I'm reading this because this is our definition as QN. Because the universities in QN are different characters and different sizes. And it was really hard for us to find a common point because all the universities have different characters, different infrastructures, and also they are all in different legal status. And it was really hard to create a common point at this sense. I will try to explain our role, defined role, and the strategies later in my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. In the second round, we will delve into the structures and processes and modes of collaboration, I guess. So it is so important that we are talking about knowledge system, knowledge creation and utilization system in European context. And we talked, as Professor Aksoyak said, the future of Erasmus system as well. That's great, in fact, to hear these good news, but can you please give more details so that we can imagine how these alliances work? What are the structures or even visionary and missionary structures and objectives of these alliances that makes these powerful institutions come together for the same goal? I mean, what are your mechanisms? You know, university is not a school. University is more than a school. University is a huge fleet, or sometimes some transatlantic, that goes together with their stakeholders, with their ecosystem. So how do you manage this mechanism in your alliances? And how do you provide this stakeholder involvement? And how about the diversity? Because they come with different sizes. Can we hear it beginning from EELISA again, and then we will change the order?
I mean, if I am to talk about the governance part, I can say that, as you mentioned, I mean, it's really complicated because in the case of EELISA, we have 10 partners from Italy, from Switzerland, Spain, Romania, Hungary, and now we have Germany, and we have now a new partner from Sao Paulo, from Brazil. So this is also, this is not just limited to European countries, but also in terms of creating global impact. New associated partners are being added to EELISA, let's say. So it's complicated because all these institutions are, they have different scales, they have different cultures, size as well, but they have complementary skills. So the understanding and using their complementarities is really a very critical issue for us. The thing is, all of these institutions have working mechanisms, I mean, for research, education, innovation. I mean, they are already running these lots of operations in the higher education sector, let's say. But the challenge here is designing joint processes for students, academic researchers, and external, of course, stakeholders of all types when working with companies, different societal actors. So I think this is the main challenge in front of many European university initiatives. But after 4 years, I mean, this is a two-term funding, let's say, initiative from the perspective of European Commission. The first 3 years were completed last year, and we have to, you know, design all these governing processes, joint processes, until the end of 27. So imagine a university, we have councils, units, departments, there are administrative staff responsible for different operations, student mobilities, research, etc. Now, in the case of EELISA, we are designing all these mechanisms together. So this is not, we are very much familiar with projects which belong to, you know, individuals or groups, but these are institutional projects, and that's another challenge, because the turnover rate in universities are very high. The rectors change, department heads change, and managers of, let's say, directors, institutions change, but the project continues, which means despite this high turnover rate, okay, so we need to embed this concept, European University Compact, into the existing practices. And it was more difficult in the first part, but it is becoming more and more easy. Now we have, for example, EELISA governing board, including rectors. We have executive board, including vice rectors. We have student council. We have people responsible for student mobilities. So there are many, you know, organizational units like that. But now day by day, more number of people from different administrative and academic units are working together. They know each other and they are working together to develop some joint processes. For the stakeholder part, I will share a case example later. So the thing is, it's a very radical change. Because the current higher education system has been designed according to the needs of the mass production system, but now it's different. Since almost 1970s, we are now, facing very interesting problems, disrupting technologies, not just AI. We had similar stories in the past. So the system doesn't work. So how should we engage the university of the future? So all these alliances have answers. They are trying to develop some answers for these critical questions. So in the following questions, perhaps I may add more details. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, you did.
Okay, yes. The collaborative structure of the QN, it's based on 5 type of members, let's say. There are academic members, of course, 5 full members from Italy, from this university, from Latvia, and from Poland, from Spain, Turkey, right? And also 34 more associate university. And though this set of university works together with business members, it means we have entrepreneurs, SMA, investor, philanthropists, collaborators that provide the innovation, economic growth, and job creation. Also, we have government and public institutions that support all the projects, financial support, actually regularity support, social foundation, it means civil foundation, that provide real needs, real requirements, and ensure that all the solutions are inclusive. And actually, we also have media actors. It means actors that make the work of publication, of project, our results, to highlight the contribution and to public innovation and addressing present issues. Well, that's called the name of the QN. It's come from a model called 360-degree quality, query driving, and quintuple helix. The quintuple helix, that was the 5 helix that I already mentioned. Maybe you can.
Actually, I would like to start with our application phases, because as AGÜ, as the member of the QN, we applied the European Alliances project call 2 times. And the first time was in 2022, and our approach was attending a project call, a standard European Union call, and it was a failure. Because as Hocam mentioned about it, it's a totally different character of project. And the institutional part is more important than the main part of the projects that we get used to do to apply. And the institutional part was really tough for us because we are a middle-sized university in Turkey. Maybe ITU can respond to these difficulties more stronger or easier. Maybe we can talk about it, because it will be good to see the differences between the universities, Turkish universities, actually. And in the second application, we understood that we need to we need to work as a group at the beginning of the application, not when we get the budget, but at the beginning of the application, we need to collaborate with all the members as a whole group alliance. And we created the joint governance because it's a must for this application to become an alliances. You need to work together as an alliances. And it was a new approach for us, for AGU. As I said, we are a middle-sized university, and there aren't so many academicians that you can give role in an application like this. And nearly half of the academicians are taking role in QN Alliance applications and organization. And it was a challenge for us, actually. And for the educational parts, difficulties, as Hocam mentioned about it, the basic approach of the European alliances is to have a common shared educational system environment. Actually, you have to be successful about this. And as university, as AGU, our problem was not having enough infrastructure for this one, because you need to have some system, some working infrastructure to deal with this virtual mobility, actually. And we worked on that in our application, and we created a definition called blended intensive program. Actually, one of the QN members has started establishing this program, and now we are in the phase of being a partner of that system. And also our legal departments, members' legal departments have worked on the legal status of the universities and the national laws, actually, because they are all different from each other, and because of that we try to establish a common quality assurance that includes the laws, actually, the rules, official rules. And we are in a very successful stage at this point. These mechanisms are the systems that we established during the second application. And because we managed to organize all these mechanisms, now we are we haven't got the budget in the second application, but now as QN we have ability to act like an alliance, a working alliance. And because of that, Professor Kardani can attend this meeting as a QN member, and we are attending project applications with all the members, QN members. But there's another problem. Not having a budget creates unmotivation in the group. And some of the members left the alliances because of that. And maybe that's another issue that European Union should consider.
Thank you very much. Well, that was really enlightening, because as far as I know, ELISA is having the second round with budget, but then there will not be any third rounds. It's like now there's a conflict here, or a dilemma here, that we have to go on collaborating and working together, but we also have to find ways to fund ourselves, fund our alliances. That means developing business models, but we don't want to call it business model. We want to call it institutional model that creates funds. So I think we have much to share about it. Okay, now it's time to make our presentations to show what is really all these summaries mean? Yes, please. Let's start from EELISA, because I think yours is a short demonstration from EELISA.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to add one thing.
Sure.
I mean, accessing complementary funding is the most critical part, because the European Commission will not support European alliances forever. This is why, for example, in the case of EELISA, we are now working on a legal entity model. Probably it will be like kind of association which has an office at Brussels, let's say. There are different models, each with advantages and disadvantages. Now we are trying to understand costs and benefits at the moment, but the thing is, when you have a legal entity, it is easier to offer lots of joint services. We are working on them for research, for example, joint research applications, different Horizon projects, Erasmus projects, things like that. Or using internal resources, national resources, working with as many stakeholders as possible, so that you can support the initiative financially in terms of sustainability. So this is really a big challenge. So
hot topic.
It's a hot topic,
Very
but
hot topic.
yeah, we are in a better position relative to the first phase now, because the high-level decision makers are familiar with the European universities context. For example, we have governance meetings in Istanbul in November, and the head of, for example, Higher Education Council will also join the meeting. So this is a good opportunity to, summarize our problems and ask for some additional, let's say, support for these, because they are really valuable for all Turkish universities in terms of impact.
Impact and model, being a role model. Not all Turkish universities, while Professor Acar is preparing his presentation, it's a very rare situation being a part of alliances. So both AGÜ and ITU is facing their unique challenges. There's no lessons learned locally for now. Okay, just a demonstration from Professor Acar now.
We have very limited time. This is why we cannot dive into all those details of, let's say, future model of universities. But one thing is very clear. We need to find new ways to address problems, and especially, in my view, the term flexibility is very critical when designing all these models, because we are collaborating with many stakeholders, internally and externally. So for innovative solutions, we have to find, let's say, improve new models in terms of engagement with these stakeholders. In the ITU Learning Center, our strategy was, we summarize it with a simple word, which is crowdsourcing for co-creation with a lifelong learning mindset. That's the summary. Crowdsourcing is one keyword. Co-creation, co-production of knowledge is another thing, and we are trying to do all these with a lifelong learning mindset, which means we want to keep people within the system throughout their career life cycle. So if you are a learner, you are a learner until end of your life. But you are not just learner, you are someone, potentially you are a resource for universities who can exchange resources, knowledge, experience, and resources of different types with other members of the ecosystem. So this is just a very simple case example, because we are about to finalize this. It's not fully coded, but we are about to submit the first phase at the end of this month to the Commission. This part is an example of crowdsourcing. We map all, let's say, EELISA members, but I'm talking about students, academics, administrative staff, externals, including citizens. If anyone is interested in, for example, online webinar, why not go and watch it from this, for example, YouTube broadcast. So we are trying to design a university without walls, but for that, in terms of collaborating with all these members, we need to map them. So it's kind of LinkedIn of ITU or ELISA now. We experimented with this in ITU, in the Learning Center. Now we have embedded these models into ELISA European University after some piloting process. But that's it. We have people, they are potential collaborators for ITU and ELISA. We map them with keywords and their hats, I mean roles, okay? So keywords correspond to their areas of expertise. For example, they want to exchange knowledge and experience regarding to X, Y, Z, whatever. And we attach keywords, roles for each keyword. For example, I'm not just a teacher. I'm not just a researcher, okay? I teach, I research, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a donor, I'm a project manager, and so on. We have multiple roles. So we map this. Why? Because if I cannot see these people at global level, especially the members of the alumni network is very critical here, because these people have resources, they have connections, and turning, okay, being back to school is a very, you know, inviting idea for many of them, and they are always ready to collaborate with the university. So first we need to see those people. So that's the crowdsourcing part, not just this, of course, because please check EELISA.eu. We have communities of different types, okay, EELISA communities. These are spaces where internal and external stakeholders of different societal challenges come together and work together. So once you have this, with this mapping, what does that mean? You can build communities of learning, communities of practice based on shared interests of people. When it comes to co-creation, okay, but for co-creation, you also need a model. Okay, let's work together, produce knowledge together. But how? Here we have been working on a tool for some time. I just quickly added one example, just for show it very quickly. But this platform allows people to design learning experiences together. I mean, that's the idea. It has a modular structure. Okay, so each learning experience, it has a title. You can just, they have connections with different SDGs. Let's say, sometimes we have learners with special needs, we have resources, blah, blah, and we have learning objectives and outcomes for these learning experiences. We can add different modules anytime, and then we have a kind of matrix, okay, where we can easily add content and add different content delivery modes. I mean, sometimes we play games, sometimes we read, sometimes we use animations, simulations, virtual reality, we talk to people, we interview people, and so forth. So because there are multiple channels to learn something, and also these correspond to the strengths of individuals. People learn in different ways. So the idea is, as long as you meet the learning objectives and outcomes, okay, we should provide space, flexibility for everyone to design their own learning experiences. This is for students, academics, okay, staff, and all externals. I mean, anyone, let's say, citizens as well, because this is the connection to open science and citizen science as well. So we are designing the infrastructure for that, and it's modular. Why? Because different modules may come from different stakeholders. I mean, when you design something, one module may come from a professor, another one from a student, another one from the industry, and so forth. So our plan, okay, is to we get the money. Just last 2 minutes, we get the money for learning part according to the grant agreement of ELISA. But from ITU's perspective, our plan is to add different, let's say, different modules here, because we need those matchmaking functionalities for research, for entrepreneurial activities, for donations, for example, disaster management, because at the end of the day, this is a platform for exchanging resources. Okay, so, I will finish with this. We imagine, this is why I'm talking about, let's say, flexibility. Seems like we will have a shorter, right, let's say, university education in the near future. because it's not really very meaningful to keep, you know, hundreds of thousands of young people in, you know, closed learning environments in the age of disruptive technologies like AI and others. So our, at least from ITU Learning Center's perspective, we imagine something like this. A small number of, let's say, organizational units which are providing core competencies in any field. And then we give people flexibilities to acquire different skills based on their needs from inside or from outside the university, so that they can design their own portfolio in line with their targets in life. Okay, that's so this is also, once you modularize the playground of learning like this is the gate to micro-credentials. Okay, this is recognition, developing different forms of recognition systems as needed by employers or different institutions, etc. So, thank you, thank you. That's.
Thank you very much, Professor Acar. Yes, if we could have time, we will delve into many details of these innovative teaching approaches. But now we are talking about how these alliances reimagine education. This is our topic for now, and we aim for a digital, sustainable, human-centric future. So what's the role of technology in this alliance building efforts in your vision, dear Professor Cardinale? Maybe we can... Yes, please. Yeah. You can use both of them as you like, if you feel comfortable. Okay.
This is that I already talked about the vision and the mission of our university. Just to highlight some keywords, the focus is the QN is fostering the integral, long-term sustainable high levels of permeability. The mission, well, I think I will pass that, and I will go directly to, just to take a look about the collaborative structure, the 5 main partners with the different profiles, and the other members, collaborator, and this is the model, the 360-degree transformative model. Okay, I have it here. Okay, and then that one, right? As we all agree, technology is transversal to all the fields, to health, to daily living life, and education is not the exception to have the technology as a transversal component. In this sense, the QN Alliance considers the technology from 3 points of view. First, technology as an ally. Okay, in education, the technology, it's as we all know, it's brings many benefits in the education field. For example, to motivate students, to improve teaching and learning strategy, to allow inclusion, and to encourage the development of multiple intelligence, and many, many, many more benefits. Technology also as a tool, but not as a substitute for our intelligence, especially for the artificial intelligence technology. The idea is to promote the responsible use of technology, which involve a range of practices and behaviors that promote ethical, conscientious, safe, and benefit use both for individuals and society as a whole. And also technology as a component of academic activities that should evolve The QN Alliance is committed to improve, evolve, foster, and driving forward technology. It means to improve technology, to provide more green technology, more responsible technology. With these ideas in mind, the QN manage several research hubs. Several research hubs that embrace several projects, like, the hubs are transformative governments for university, that, which involve fostering adaptability, innovation, and inclusivity to navigate dynamic challenges and drive positive institutional evolution. Sustainable innovation for a circular economy aims to minimize waste, optimize resource usage, and promote regenerative practices, fostering a resilient and environmentally conscious economic system. Digital transformation and disruptive technology, I will not read all of them, but just to give you an idea of the research hub that, as I said, try to define projects, conjoint projects among the partners. One health and well-being, advancing materials and manufacturing technology, developing competence in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, that we call STEM, which foster a multidisciplinary skill set, empowering individuals to navigate a rapidly evolving world and contribute to creative and impactful solutions. Also developing competence in business and economy. Which innovative teaching and leading initiatives are in the agenda of QN? Some examples are international degree, master, and doctoral programs, PhD program, that are provided in English. Industrial doctoral programs for applied science. Those industrial doctoral programs means to apply the science. It's not to just public papers. It's just to solve a real problem in real scenarios. Living labs to explore how university, governments, business, and communities can move from isolated efforts to systematic collaboration, using Living Lab as a key tool to create tangible societal impact. Also, the other activities in the agenda is keep supporting this kind of event to generate spaces to identify synergy, to identify common interests, and to improve collaboration and co-creation. Through this initiative, like the QN continues to strengthen its role in transforming higher education in Europe and strengthening collaboration that generate real and sustainable societal impact.
Thank you so much, dear Professor Cardinale. Now it is time for Professor for reflecting their institutional experiences on the interlinkages between the technology and education in these challenging times. Dear friends, dear student friends, you are seeing how we struggle to cope up with this generation. So know your value. All these things are for catching up with the generational and technological disruption.
I will skip most of the slides because of the time limits, but I will try to mention about some topics about our institution, AGÜ. Actually, these are the numbers that we mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. We are waiting, we are expecting a new call in 2026, maybe, but probably there will be there will be no new EELISAs funded. Probably the budget will be used to fund the existing EELISAs. We started with 9 universities, but we are now with 5 members, and 3 of our members are now acting like associate partners, and that's the biggest problem now we are facing as QN. As Professor Cardinale mentioned, the design of the QN based on the quadruple helix, and the main target is to create living laboratories for social solutions, and we are working on the tools to establish those mechanisms, and now one of our main target is to create European-wide macro credentials. Urbino, one of member of the QN, started this program, and as AGU we are trying to attend that program as the QN member. As I told, we attend 2 times for the call, and in the second time, strategically we defined virtual mobility blended intensive programs, and the main target is to create a virtual campus. But actually we have seen that, we noticed that it is not working by only creating a virtual campus or a physical campus. Now we are, our new strategy is to blend both of them, blend the physical and virtual campus together. And that means that we are going to use the budget, if we can manage to be funded, we are going to use the budget to establish an infrastructure for the virtual campus, and also for the mobility for our students, academicians, and administrative staff to the physical campuses. We are using, there's a AGU model factory, and it's a very successful example for the model factories, and we are using it as one of the best examples in QN, and one of our new strategies is to use that example to establish new model factories in the campuses of other QN members. As I said, we use technology as a tool. We see technology as a tool, and our main strategy is to use technology, digital and sustainable, to create a digital and sustainable environment. But we will be always, we will have always a human-centered strategy, educational strategy. These are the focus points of our agenda. Macro credentials is a hot topic, as Hocam said. Challenge-based innovation sprints. We need to encourage, especially our students, about entrepreneurship, and also shared doctoral or higher education networks. And I would like to mention about the reasons why AGU is in QN alliances or a European university alliances. AGU is one of the youngest universities in the top 1,000 universities of Times Higher Education Impact Ranking, and we are a very dynamic university, and we can adapt new strategies, new approaches very quickly, and we are very good at creating new strategies, establishing new strategies, and apply them. So the European Alliances idea is a new system which encourages the sustainable educational system with the European culture, in European culture, and we think that we are ready to adapt that system, new system, and our contribution will be a benefit for the Turkish universities and also the European universities. And also our university's strategical sector is IoT and AI systems, and we believe that being a part of the European universities alliances, we will be much stronger in these sectors. And AGÜ will support data governance, especially green digital technologies. We are, as a university, we are working on this subject very strongly and contribute to European digital innovation hubs through open access data sets and experimentation platforms. And these are the major points that we are expecting to have if we be an European University alliances, and that's all from me.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. By the way, dear friends, are we in a Teams meeting currently? Our technical staff over there? Okay then, let's conclude then. Well, that was really inspiring. And I think this kind of, seeing these kind of intense efforts raises our hopes that we need nowadays. Şu an şeyde miyiz, toplantıda mıyız? Bu değiliz galiba, değil mi? Ha?
Değiliz hocam.
Keşke olsaymışız baştan. So, to conclude, this is the wrap-up session. But I have some notes from your presentations, and we talked about the alliances having members, partners from different sciences with complementary skills, and this is a huge promise. And in these knowledge ecosystems, working for a sustainable future of European education and Erasmus concept. Now we see that you are talking about quintuple, triple helix, industry, university, academia, government, and then we at the civil society. And what is the fifth in quintuple? In QN. It's based on the quadruple helix concept, I think. What is this fifth element? Media. That's very interesting, in fact. And yes, and we talked about the permeability. Some engineering students can know about this. Very important concept of being blended together. And now I want to give the final words and get some questions from our participants as well. And I like the LinkedIn of universities and matchmaking through networks. We need to connect to form a network. And we need to map each other to connect, as Professor Acar presented. And learning stations, it is a response to higher education crisis, maybe, with all these blended learnings. And you mentioned about, Professor Assoc mentioned about regulative differences, which is really important. And of course, we need new mechanisms and systems established, and we need coordination. And so, common shared education and research environment on these promises. What are the final words? What are the final remarks from these two alliances? Yes, professors. Yes, a wrap-up sentence from everyone, a sentence, and then you think about your questions, because we are expecting very challenging questions from students especially, and of course, teachers.
I mean, things are changing. So for me, basically, it's about managing change. In the case of higher education setting, for me, I believe we need to change the ways we produce, share, use, and store knowledge. I mean, perhaps we should question our, let's say, prevailing strategies and methods about knowledge. So, in that sense, its epistemological point of view should be discussed in depth, in my view, in terms of a better understanding of this change. Because without changing that basis, it will be more difficult, I think, to adapt to all these, interesting, rapid, and disruptive changes. So, for me, it's a quick summary of things. It's about change.
Thank you, Professor. Yes, Professor.
Yes. Yes, beside that, I agree. But also, I think this kind of alliance help university to comply the goal of educate in terms of technology, how to improve technology, and also how to create conscience, to raise awareness, energy aware, environmental aware, human aware, not only in the technology but also in the teaching and learning strategies. And yes, with this kind of collaboration, co-creation, I think this kind of alliance helps to the university to keep doing this main goal. I mean.
Actually, we are not funded alliances, but we are very happy to be together as an QN alliances, and we succeed to work together actually. But I will criticize the closed structure of these alliances, because actually this idea, this European alliances idea, created to make universities work together in a collaborative way. But if you establish an alliances, currently that means that you created a closed structural environment. And maybe there will be some solutions to create collaboration between the alliances, maybe in the future.
Inter-alliance collaboration.
Yes.
So collaboration word was stuck within the alliance.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for these valuable insights. Any questions from the participants that can contribute to the discussion? No? Okay. After the lunch it happens. So thank you for standing still after this gorgeous, beautiful lunch. It is a real great success to be here awake after the lunch. So I think we completed our mission, our knowledge sharing mission. Thank you very much for your interest and support. Thank you. Güvenle tanışmış olduk. Hocam çok memnun oldum.
Devam edeceğiz.
I really